No.
Hello, I'm T.O. This is the Living Workshop. Monday. Oh, jeez, and I dropped this down on the ground. Okay, all right. So, another Monday. Doing well. Did videos on Saturday as well as Sunday. So I wanted to show some of the stuff that we had done because I felt like I hadn't got all the stuff done that I had said I was going to do. My task list, which is fine, but sometimes when it's like it seems like I missed a good amount of the stuff. I try and go back and see why, and then try and look for what I actually did that week. Because a lot of times I did do a bunch of stuff, I just didn't write it down. And so then I go and I start feeling self-conscious and I start being like, oh man, what did I do? Did I waste all my time sitting in front of the internet and looking at stupid stuff on the internet? Probably some of that. Probably some of that, if I'm being honest. So then I go back, try and look through and see what I accomplished during the week. Or what we accomplished. And made our little Reishi Alchemist Kit, little prototype. So we're going to change the box. This will be the box that it would go in if it was being shipped. But for like going to like mushroom things and for putting it into places, we're going to get kind of like it's going to have like a handle. And it'll kind of look like a coffee holder for like 2 cups of coffee, if you can understand that. So there'll be like one side, there'll be this in there, there'll be one side, there'll be this. Only this would be the Reishi block. This would be this thing, but only contained. And then this would contain all the stuff that's provided in here to make your double extraction tincture. So that was really good. It's good to get that. Good to get that done. That's what I had that as a big thing that I wanted to get done before the end of the week, and so we did that. So that's great. And then we've got this little programming thing kind of set up. There's still some stuff that needs to get there, but I think like the look of it looks cool. And also we continued making videos every single day. So we're building that habit, and by we I literally just mean me. I'm building that habit. I attached it to my writing habit, which I've built up in the same sort of way, little by little, and then you just kind of add more stuff to it once the habit is grabbed on. So try and make it as easy, resistance free as possible. So I'm doing that same thing here. It seems like we're doing pretty good because we're at 13, 14, something like that. So by the end of this week, by Friday, we'll have hit that 21 days. And that's the 21 days it takes to create a new habit. So with that, we're going to start adding more stuff on. And by we, again, I mostly mean me, because I'm the person that's in front of this camera doing this stuff. What do we got here? 3.5 minutes. Okay. All right, so what do we got this week? I just got to go to the vet tomorrow. On Friday, we're heading down to see family. So we'll go on Friday. I've got more grain to do. Did I bring up? Yeah. Okay. I'll show you. So I did all the liquid culture the other day. And split out a bunch of agar plates, and then Sunday dinner happened, so I had to finish. Let me just make sure this thing's still going. Oh, okay, cool. We're still recording. Yeah. So. So now we have a bunch of these. And we've got a bunch of plates as well. This is the plate of the Reishi that I showed you a couple weeks back, where it was fought off a bunch of contamination. That's Owsley down there whining because he was rude, and now he's probably tied up down there while Jen's messing around with the chickens. So yeah, so we've got all these. Got the lion's mane back over here, which I did before. And I don't have the air going on it right now, but I do have the spinner plate. So, and it looks like it's starting to grow. So that's really great. I'll put the rest of these on here, but I need to pressure cook and sterilize the air filters that go on there, that pump the air in there. Osley, pop. It's really not that bad. Excuse me. So anyways, yeah, so we got that accomplished. So those things will kind of chill for a couple days before that mycelium will kind of start growing in there, in that medium. And then we're off to the races. So it's fun playing around with liquid culture. I'm glad to get more experience in that and to really kind of like nail that stuff down, because once that's nailed down, it makes it a lot easier to kind of like expand stuff out, and then also to share stuff with other people. I could very easily pull out 10 cc's, of inoculated lion's mane, and I could give that to somebody, and then they can take that and they can grow their own lion's mane. And if they knew how to do this, they could put that 10 cc's into one of these things, and then now they've got a bunch. So, yeah. Okay, so I still got to do more of the grain to grain stuff. Those bags that I'd shown you a couple days before, those still need to get done. So that's a today project. I still got to set up the VPN on the router. So that's computer stuff. So that usually ends up taking a back seat for me, because I don't like doing it when it's nice outside. I like doing outside stuff. I got to turn a bowl, and I'm going to make a video of it. So I'm going to turn the bowl, I'm going to make a video of it, and then I'm going to upload the video onto social media. Onto YouTube. And the goal with that is that it's probably going to be around like 2 hours. So my hope is that I can put that up there, and then I can get people to like put that on and just kind of either watch the whole thing or just kind of have it on in the background. And that'll get me some time on the YouTube. So I'll do that. And I also just need to keep working on the bowls. I didn't do any last week. It's usually the thing that I end up passing on. I gotta write every day. Continue, that doesn't change. Gotta do these videos every day. That doesn't change. I gotta soak more winter rye, make some more bags, make some more grain jars. I gotta pressure cook those air filters, and I have to find or order the table arms that apparently I did not purchase that I thought I did for that table. So but I can still paint it. I can still do the tabletop and get most of all the stuff there done, besides just, and then I'll just throw those handles on after the fact. So, and then, what do we have here? Okay, so this is just something I had written down. This is something that I'm going to try to work on. I want to try to figure out a way that I can communicate what I'm trying to do here to you guys. So, essentially kind of the deal is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out a way to fund this whole thing. How do I make it so that this pulls in money so that I can spend all my time doing all this stuff and building this out, instead of having to leave here and go do a bunch of other work in order to just make enough money to then try and work on this. This seems kind of more important and more valuable, so I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm going to try multiple ways. So one of the ways will be the YouTube stuff. See if we can get people to watch the videos, follow along. Maybe that'll bring us in some revenue somewhere down the line. And to have a Patreon set up, so hopefully maybe that will bring in some money as well. Also, we're gonna be selling these Reishi Alchemist Kits. We will be selling tinctures, powders, capsules, stuff like that. So, because it's like, here's the thing. It's like, do you see so many people and they're making all this money doing podcasts or doing YouTubes? And it's entertaining. But like, what are they doing with all that money? And I mean, it's their money. They don't have to tell me. But my point is that, like, what if the people that were pulling in all that money, people that are pulling in like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for doing a podcast, and they're just kind of talking shit. Excuse me. I mean, it's funny. It's interesting. I like it. But like, imagine if they actually used that money, or if somebody got to that point and then used that money to actually build something of substance. And God forbid it be something that's good for people on the whole. You know, so that's essentially kind of what I'm trying to do. You know, I don't really necessarily know how to do it, but that's what I figured. I figured, what if we took and used the internet to actually build something in the real world with it, as opposed to just making more stuff on the internet for more people to look and spend more time looking at the internet instead of doing stuff in the real world or building something in the real world. So that's what I'm working on. So it starts by making these videos, getting myself more comfortable, and then slowly I'll start expressing myself probably more, kind of like I just did right there, even though that makes me feel very uncomfortable and like I'm asking people to do stuff for me or to give me money, which I don't like asking, but I don't know. I gotta learn that if it's for a good cause, and if I'm not, it's not like the money's literally just gonna go to doing all this stuff. So whatever issue I have with it is my own stuff. So I gotta get over my own stuff. Okay. All right. What are we at? Oh shoot, we're at 12 minutes. Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's it for the week. That's for the Monday meeting. I'm gonna go down and have a Monday meeting with my lovely partner Jen. She's probably hanging out outside with the new chicks. But yeah, what am I grateful for today? I'm grateful that I've continued up this habit. Grateful that how far I've come in just doing this every day. Even though I've only been doing it for like 13 or 14 days. Trying to start it originally was very, very difficult for me. It was a lot of self-consciousness, a lot of stuff comes up, so but I did do it, and figuring out the internet and how to upload it and all the other stuff, and then writing it out and then posting it publicly and all that sort of stuff. But I did do it, so I'm grateful for that. It looks like it's going to be a really nice day out after a couple rainy, snowy, kind of gross days this weekend. It's going to be like 60, so that's pretty great. So I'm thankful for that. And just to be just another day above ground. I don't know. You know, it's like, sometimes I get all worked up over being like, am I gonna have enough money to do this thing, or how's this thing gonna work out, or what am I gonna do, or what's gonna happen in the future, or what's going on in the world, or everything seems like it's falling apart, or blah 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 blah. But that's when I'm in my head, and that's when I'm thinking forward, or I'm thinking backwards, or I'm looking at my phone, reading all this stuff. But when I'm not doing any of that stuff, and I'm just working on this, or outside, or hanging with a dog, or the chickens, or my girlfriend, or just myself, outside, doing stuff with my hands, helping build stuff, or just a walk in the woods. And it feels great. It's a great feeling. So, all the other stuff, it'll work out. So, Out on the edges. We're out on the edges. So that's what happens. Out on the edges. You don't know what's coming next. But we're growing, we're learning, we're doing stuff. So thanks for listening. And eventually somebody will see this. But for now, thanks.